All right. They have to get a hold of the bank. Okay. You have to work through your own bank. Work through your own bank. Yeah, you can record this. I'm gonna record it and put it on my supposedly new YouTube thing. Supposedly, guidelines for yes, it's on the form. They apply for loans. Contractors do their own. Yeah, I get it, Brent. I know. What you have to do is put the numbers in there and put it in there and do the best you can. And hopefully you have more people at the end than you have in those other forms. You just have to go through it and do the formula. They're going to look at facts. Yeah, 3.75, same thing I think I read too. Yeah, for 8 weeks. I'm doing 2 months. It's pretty 2 months worth of stuff. The first spreadsheet. Okay, let me go see. No, okay. So you have what they're saying is you need to work with your normal everyday bank or whoever you're banking with. That's who you really should go bank with. The self-employment income is based on their 1099s and the previous year's. It's based on the 1099 that you have for either 18 or 19. Well, in theory, it'd be 19 at these numbers. So for self-employment people, you want to look at your 1099s or what the total gross revenues were. So if you get $150,000 in, but only $98,000 is sent to you in 1099, put $150,000 down because that's what you really made. Employee retention tax credit. Yeah, Robert, that's different. That is, ask Susan, that's an HR related thing and it comes off your 941s. And I think people are trying to figure that out. That's for really sick people. If you have a real sick person that are really out, and I think you had to pay them for 2 weeks. But, okay, so let me just go through. So let me pull this just go through this again, what I sent to my banker today. And let me share this. Okay, so as you can see, what I did is I put each thing and then the 4 quarters and everything. So each one of these are documents. I put my payroll summary into a report, and then I put my payroll summary into a report, and then I sum my payroll by people. And so I put all that in Excel, and then I attached all of these different emails in this same order so that I told the banker to open them in this order. And that hopefully will solve a lot of the problems. Let me go back to. All right, there any more? Let me go in here and make this big. 3 more chat. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, don't get confused about an LLC or anything like that. So the LLC is either operating as a sole proprietor or as an S corp. If it's a sole proprietor, you file under a sole proprietor, but you use the LLC tax ID when you do it. But you file as a sole proprietor. My bank told me exact list that I needed. The one I put on the screen is exactly what he told me. He needed, except the first thing it's 5:30 this morning when he sent it out or something. He said I needed to get a certificate of good standing, and he changed his mind on that. I'm sure after the state of Texas blew up. And so anyway, my guess is that that's what changed them. Yeah, the CARES Act, you need to read on it. There's a whole bunch of pieces. There's 5 different pieces. The interest loan, okay. First, you have to figure out what interest loan you're talking about, because if you're talking about a PPP loan, I think it's 3.75. If you're talking about the EIDL loans that are on the SBA website, then that may take a couple of weeks to process. I don't know what, I think those are 0.5%, but they're going to, supposedly what your banker is going to do, again, it goes back through your bank. Remember, the SBA has no money. So it'll go back through your bank, and then your bank will, um, your bank then will decide whether or not as a sole proprietor, any of this is forgiven or not. But they will forgive the money on the sole props if you qualify. Yes, if you make more than $100,000, you don't get any, anything over 100 grand. So do you hire employees? Make sure the spreadsheet says 0 at the bottom. Do you hire employees? I'm going to make sure that my spreadsheet at the very bottom says 0 for, 100% forgiven, or how much I owe. That's what I'm going to make sure. So if I have to go out on the street and hire people, namely my children, I'm going to bring them in and pay them. I don't know. I'm going to make sure that we cover. The loans are all different. You have to work through your banks. So you have to, and these are all need loans. So you have to prove harm. So one of the very first thing I had to do is come in here in my document, in this document right here, and I had to tell them who filed bankruptcy and who did this and who does that. So you have to tell them, hey, some of my clients are struggling, and this is why I need this. And I also don't know what's going to happen in the future. So you'll have to prove need. If you are a manufacturer of masks and you're making $1 billion, they're probably going to tell you to take a hike. But if you lost a bunch of clients, then there's a chance that they're gonna do something. And the sooner the better. Chat. Yeah, I'm not recommending everybody, do you have to? No, you just have to have a relationship with the bank. Oh, is it a criteria? Oh, Bank of America seems that they're looking at people that have prior loans or credit cards. My bank did. My bank, I have loans and I have a credit card and I have a bank with them. Maybe that's why they accepted me. But I was told to go to my bank, and I did, and I submitted it this morning about 10 o'clock, 10:30, as soon as I found out I could use the state website to say that I'm active. I don't know about a MERP. MERP is a medical plan. I don't know how that works or doesn't work. It's got to be inside. You may have to apply under that corporation, meaning you'll have to apply wherever that is, but there's no payroll. So I just don't know. Talk to your bank. Oh, Brandon. Okay. Known people. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. That my banker told me sort of the same thing. I sent a bunch of people to him. I have no idea whether he was going to help them or not. I just got out of the middle of it. The formula is the formula, Jeff. The form's the form. Yeah, it says rent on there. Yeah, you could put all there on there, but they're going to paste it based on payroll. That's the way it is. You can put it, there's a line for rent. You put it on there, see what they have to say. Go to your bank. I put everything on mine. I made my number as big as I could. They're gonna have to hit me over the head and knock mine down. Yeah, there's a PPP application. Generally, yeah, I showed here. Here's the PPP application that I just got. Let me just pull it up. And it's important because it needs to be dated 4/20. Let me see, coronavirus. Let's see, can I share this one? Let me see. New share application. Okay, so I'm sharing this application. It's important on the bottom of this application to note that it's 420 SBA Form 2483. form 420, date 420. I'm reading or hearing that some people have some that are dated 320. And the banks are asking, and I don't even know if there's a difference except for that thing. I don't even know if there's a word difference. I didn't read it. But make sure on the bottom of your document. So this is the one my bank sent out, and you can literally go in here and actually e-sign for it. So I printed it, I signed it, I scanned it and sent it to him. I e-filed an electronic signature to him. So if you look on my documents, if you look on mine, you can see. W-2s count, and you file underneath whatever company it is. If you have a W-2, your company's getting your money. If you have a W-2 with a real job, your company, just like me, is getting all my employees' money. And if they're lucky, they'll get $1. Okay, so in here, you can see I actually did 2 applications. That's the e-signature application and stuff that we're doing. So and then a lot of this other stuff just comes off the state website. All right, let's see more. Chase is not ready. According to a friend of mine, Chase was not ready to accept them. Okay, Sam, PPP goes to your bank, not the federal government. That's not the same thing as okay, so getting some questions about, okay, so people are familiar with the website. Okay, no, I know I can't do that. Let's go and look at. Let me go pull this website up right quick. Disaster. Where is the government? SBA. Oh, there it is. Corona tracker. Okay, let me share this screen. Oh, they've changed the website. Interesting. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So let me share this screen. Website, screen 3. Okay. Okay, is this being shared? This guidance being shared?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. It doesn't have a little bar around it. Okay, so this main website, so this EIDL, this is the one they said crashed.
Well, it went away now, actually.
So this one, whoa, not even taking you to the thing to file. Wow. So people are doing them. So this top screen is where you normally could go to file your application. Here's what I'll tell you. Last week, I filed my EIDL. I filed my EIDL last week, and give you 4 numbers, for instance. Last Thursday, I found out about it. I filed my EIDL. My number was 6,295. A few minutes after that, I filed for my partnership on EIDL, and that number was 6,483, about 190 188 people between, I don't know, probably 10 minutes filed. Yesterday, I filed at 3:30 p.m. and that number was 1,611,980. And the one right before that was 1,618,663. So in 10 minutes, 6,683 people filed yesterday in 10 minutes. So I don't know whether you need to refile for the EIDL. I refiled yesterday, but I'm way at the back of the list until they get a letter from me and I show them what number I was originally, and hopefully that will help. So those of you who never got a letter on the EIDL or an email notification, please probably do this again, but you can't even get into it right now. It's not even taking you anywhere. So let's see. Let me go back to chat. Okay, one more chat. Can we use any bank? I have no idea. You have to have a relationship with the bank. That's what you have to do. Yep, you have to. How do I know if I need to refile? I don't know. I refiled and I'm literally 2 million people behind where I was 5 days ago. So that's a good question. I did because I never got a notification. I put one of the companies in my wife's email name and one in my name so I could track it. And we never got anything. And we are working on someplace to update. Well, here's the trick. The updated docs, they're just my bank's docs. If you go to Bank of America, your banks are going to be different maybe. Now the SBA document and that application may be the same. I just don't know what every bank at the moment is. I need a few people to finish it and send me what they did so that I can kind of know what it looks like. Yeah, I have no idea about free money and hiring people. You just need to make sure that the formula works, that the formula works out for you. If you need employees, you need employees, but they want you to pay payroll. They want you to spend the money on payroll. Send me the paperwork? No, please. You're not. I have 800 people who want to send me paperwork. If anybody wants somebody to help, Yusuf El Heat's on this call on one of these. No saying that you can send it out. No, get them. No, I don't know what you mean. The empty docs. Yeah, we're gonna put some empty docs on the server. I just don't know how to do that. We're gonna put it on something. Amber, and then we're gonna put the empty docs. Absolutely. Oh, you can. Yes, I have those documents. I don't know how to. I just don't want to send it all the emails. Amber's gonna put a place someplace that everybody can go get copies of docs. Okay, Brandon. Yeah, I've got many emails. So just so you know. This is a mess because if you look at my documents, there's all kinds of crap that you may have to go online at the state of Texas and get. I think on our deal we showed a couple of things where you may have to go to the state and get your articles or something. You'll have to order those. They're like $1, but it's kind of a pain. You have to go to the Secretary of State and apply if you're missing your docs that might be in a book like this. Most of you have books like this, and if you have a book like this, then your documents are probably in it. You just scan them. If not, if you're missing your corporate, your initial corporate filing, whatever they're called, your federal tax ID number, that would not be good because that takes 10 days to get if you need an FEI number. But maybe they'll take a copy of your tax return if you can't find your actual CP 575. All right, let me go back and look here. Okay. All right. Yes. Yeah. We have a bunch of them, Brandon. We'll send those back out. We'll put it someplace that people can get a hold of. and there's all over the various banks' websites. So what I'm suggesting people to do is you can look at some of the paperwork we're doing that I'm doing for mine, but if yours are slightly different, then you have to go with that. Remember, on your EIDL and stuff, you're going to have to put together a financial statement, a personal financial statement. For the PPP, at the moment, we've not been asked for a personal financial statement because they're forgivable loans and the government's guaranteeing 100% of the loan. So the bank's taking no risk on these. So that's why they've not asked for a personal financial statement. If you get information back on your EIDL, then you're going to have to, and the EIDL also is part of Impact. If you get an EIDL loan, they're going to net the loan somehow, because that's one of the things on the spreadsheet that's out there that says if you get an EIDL loan, you may not be able you may have some of it that's not all forgiven. So ask your banker how that works. I use Frost as my banker today, but I use Wells Fargo too, but I didn't even call Wells Fargo because the Frost guy was super aggressive on it. But yes, and there is somebody on here, Yusuf, and I think he's got I know I saw the email, we'll post it, disaster or something. He will actually help you. He's pulling out a piece of paper. So if we do payroll and we do a bunch of stuff for you and you need people chasing down, he may be somebody you can contract. My staff, we are really working on tax returns. My floor is full of shelf, things like that on my floor. On my shelf is full of tax returns I've got to get out the door. So my staff's piling up. So anyway, if there's no more questions, yeah, my Wells Fargo guy left, and so I don't even know my new Wells Fargo guy. Yeah, there you go. Disaster. Well, you have access to payroll. Everybody has access to payroll in their payroll system. So you can go in there. I'll just go in there to payroll system. Everybody that uses it, just go into the pay cycle, download the 2 reports. It's easy. If Cassie gets, and she got on Friday about 60 requests, she was working all up until Sunday trying to get some of these things out. So if she gets a couple hundred requests of payroll stuff that you already have access to in pay cycle, you may be waiting on her to get to lots of emails just because she's, it's all out there. It's all electronic, and you can gather that stuff. I downloaded it in Excel and I played with mine. I highlighted the people over $100,000. It's really pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The EIDL, well, first of all, the PPP loan, you contact your banker. For the EIDL loan, you go to the disaster website, and that's a SBA loan, and that'll take weeks probably. But that's up to like $10 million. So if you're a hotel and you're shut down and you got 6 hotels, you might be asking for $10 million or $5 million. Now, 2 months, maybe not that much. 10 hotels, payroll. Anyway, somebody out there that have got a few things like that may get to a situation where they're asking for a big number. If the hotels are in different LLCs, you have to ask for each. And then at the bottom, they ask for affiliates. So you may have to tell them all. And if you have a bunch of them, they may combine them all to the $10 million. We don't know all that yet. We've not worked with the SBA on those other EIDL loans. Those are still, today I'm just trying to get a couple $100,000 from my banker and then run away. So yeah, the active notice for your corp is on the state website. You just go to Google corporation search, Texas corporation search, and the website it looks. I've got a PDF of, but you can Google and no, that's it. Yeah, and Texas, okay, there's also an email, Texas Corporation Search. So Texas SOS Direct, that's what you have to go to if you're missing your articles and you have to pay to get your articles, or if your bank asks for a real status, you will have to go through that process like I did today. It's $15. I charged $15 this morning to get my status. 2 hours later, my banker said the formal letter, the letter of good standing is not required. This sheet now works. And so I printed this sheet, made a copy of it, and sent it off. I've still not gotten mine, and I asked about 8 o'clock this morning, and they say it's anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. I think that's the banks ultimately will take these as long as it says, you can see it says active. Oh, it's backwards, isn't it? Okay, anyway. And the email for Texas is SOS Direct. Well, it's on one of the letters, but it's SOS. You can email them, but you can't call them anymore. Their phone basically says they're dead in the water. There's an email on one of these sheets for Texas. Yeah. SOS
I have it, Larry. I'll post it.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's SOS Direct at sos.texas.gov. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, there's the search. Perfect. Yeah, those are all the places. You have to apply with the bank you work with. So it does matter what bank you can't go to a bank you've never worked with, is what I'm being told. We don't know that for sure, because I'm sure somebody will say, I felt a new banking relationship in work. But what I'm being told is you need to work with your ongoing banking relationship. Things will go much faster. Like, I'm looking at my bank account for a check already today, emailing my banker. Where's my money? All right. Yeah, there you go. SOS Directed, SOS. And you can send them an email if your banker needs an actual letter of good standing. And you'll have to apply for it, and it's $15 online, which I paid today, and I don't know that I need it, but you guys may. All right. So it's a little longer than I needed. I've got another meeting, but if anybody wants to send emails, put COVID-19 or stimulus package in the subject line. We're trying to sort through those. I'm getting lots and lots, and my staff is also. But if you email me directly and say, Larry, can you go into ADP and can you pull my payroll? No, I'm not. I don't even know how to log into some of that stuff. I don't even barely get into our own system. So my staff can help where they can, but just realize if you're sitting there with your banker and saying, this is the last piece I need, and you're on the phone calling, the phones may ring from a week. So we need to work this weekend to try and get whatever documents you really need. And if you want somebody to help you, 2020disasterloan@gmail.com. He used to work with me, and he's helping get permission. He'll get permission to get access, and then he can help put basically this package together, or the what I showed you in my emails, which is the numbered 0, numbered 1, 2, 3. And that's really what they want. And I put them in number at the beginning so they can just print each one off individually, put it in their packet, and be good with it. Okay. All right. Well, I may do one more of these like on Tuesday, because I know that we're going to be working on some clients that have specific things not finished on 19. So we may have another one middle of the week, maybe Tuesday. And if I get funded or anything, then we'll definitely have one, and I'll explain how the final signatory process worked and what the contract looked like and that kind of stuff, and people can kind of see what's going on. Okay. All right, if there's no more questions, I'll let everybody go, and reach out to my staff if you need stuff. Take care, guys.